Snow in Memphis is unusual, but in the wintertime, you always have to have your car prepared. Now, this is a policy that Shelby County school teachers were given, allowing them to pass students even if they failed a 9-week course. Now, out of this empty lot in Cooper Young would be the Mender's Flower Farm. An infectious disease specialist tells me that you can double mask for extra protection, that it will help eliminate the spread of COVID-19. Senators now sworn in for the second impeachment trial of former President Donald Trump, set to begin February 8th. But by the way it's looking, there won't be enough Republican votes to impeach Donald Trump during his trial. As COVID-19 numbers fall in Shelby County, an infusion of extra COVID-19 vaccines is expected soon. And while officials are talking about returning to school, we are learning that Shelby County vaccination rate is lower than any other county in the state. According to the Memphis Business Journal, a task force member said the governor did not send as much vaccine. The Memphis VA was one of the 37 VAs in the country to receive the Pfizer vaccine. They received 975 doses of it. Local 24 was here when MLGW came and shut the water off at Lou's Blues Note. Lou's is known for its wings and the blues, but it had to close due to COVID-19. Although it's never been done before, Congress is raising questions about invoking Section 4 of the 25th Amendment in order to remove Trump from office. A proposal to allow Tennessee teachers to become some of the first to get the COVID-19 vaccine has gathered a lot of attention. Now let's get to the developing stories coming out of the January 6th Capitol riot. The Capitol Police Chief under fire for lack of police response. Now she's responding saying the department failed to meet high standards. When it comes to COVID-19, there hasn't been a lot of hope. It's not an automatic death sentence, but people are dying. Polling precincts all across North Mississippi had working long lines on election day. People stood in line between 2 and 4 hours just to cast their vote. Like Grayson Henry,
it was exciting.
She just turned 18 and couldn't wait to cast her vote in a presidential election.
It was important to express my opinions.
She waited 3 hours in line and said never once was she going to let a long wait discourage her from doing her civil duty.
It's important, I think, to express your opinion when you have the opportunity.
The sense of importance for this election spanned all across all generations. Dedicated voter Larry Smith says he never has missed voting in a presidential election. He also says the line today was unlike any other election.
Take a look at all this crowd right here. Today is probably one of the most important elections of the century.
Both Henry and Smith agreed it's time for Mississippi to allow for early voting to minimize the wait at the polls. However, Smith says seeing all these people voicing their opinion was very special.
I'm proud for America.
Henry says it's a privilege to vote and adds no one should ever be discouraged that their vote does not matter.
Personally, I'm just voting for kindness and the people that I know couldn't vote today.
In Olive Branch, Clare Allen, Local 24 News. All right, coming up next, more than 6 decades ago, Emmett Till was killed. Today, ABC is telling a story through a series, but this time from the mother's perspective. A $50,000 reward remains in place for the U.S. Marshals for information that leads to the arrest of killers of 8 children in Memphis.
I think we are becoming desensitized to the killings of our youth.
Have been killed in Memphis, have been victims of murder this year.
Who could forget some of those unsolved cases? Like Jadon Knox, who was killed this past January while standing on a porch on Josephine Avenue. And Ashlyn Luckett and her cousin Laquan Boyd, who were gunned down at their home on Kirby Mills Cove.
Why our black children's lives don't matter? Why are we so quiet as a community? We should be in outrage right now.
Stevie Moore, founder of Freedom of Unnecessary Negatives, is calling on clergy to meet Friday morning to address the killings in the community after a 12-year-old boy lost his life in a drive-by shooting on Looney Avenue Wednesday evening.
The boy wasn't a target, but somebody knew something was going on in our community. We know what a gun's at. Even in our own families, we know who got the guns and use them for the wrong reasons.
Moore says the solution starts by speaking up when you see something happening. He suggests calling his organization the Crime Tip Line.
If you don't want to call the police, call that number and let us reach out. It's anonymous. You don't have to leave your phone number. You don't have to say your name. You can block it, your name out. Just call.
Moore's press conference to address this issue is Friday at 10 a.m. at 3214 South 3rd Street. Reporting in Memphis, Clare Allen, Local 24 News.